I'm your host, Destiny Sidwell.
I'm also your host, Sara.
And this is Bookmark'd. Y'all, can you see the mess in my room? Be honest. No, don't be honest, actually. This is when I ask you guys to lie. Lie to me, lie to me, lie to me.
It's hard when you have, like, a headphones on top of the slick, because it's like...
I think that eats. I think when I have nothing on top of the slick, I'm like, wow. I've never hated myself more.
It's just I'm showing too much of my face. At least I have glasses on.
Showing too much face. I'm giving too much face right now, sorry. You know what is on the radar? Everybody, guys, let's slam and the applause button, the cheers button, because Sara hit 400K a few days ago. And we know her. We love her. She deserves it and even more. And we just have to give a shout out for this huge accomplishment because we love her and we're proud of her. And everybody say, congrats, Sara. We love you down in the comments.
Stop. Thanks, guys. Thank
you guys in advance for following along with what I say.
Thank you guys, that's so nice of you. Yeah, it's a crazy number. It's can't even fathom it, so
you deserve it, and that's what you should remind yourself. And you know what else you deserve today? Your DOTE. What is your DOTE? I know you're dying to try it.
I made it right before I came upstairs. I didn't try it yet. I have a matcha finally. Woo!
I'm so jealous.
And I got a new matcha powder, so it should be really good. So let's see. Taste test.
Let's see. Ooh, biting my fingernails. Is it good? There's a head nod.
It's so good.
It's good. See, I'm jealous because I've been wanting to make my own matchas at home because Sara influenced me, the power that she has. The power. And then I'm just like, I don't have the energy to do it.
Matchas, like, it doesn't take a lot to make them, but, like, compared to making, like, an iced coffee, like, there's a lot of steps that go into the matcha, honestly.
I feel like I'm over coffee. Like, I am so tired. I know.
Matchas are back.
But I love coffee, period. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. I've always loved coffee. And I'm so tired today that I was like, okay, I'll go try to, like, go get a coffee from somewhere. And I literally got the coffee and I was like, I don't think this is me anymore. I don't think I like it.
Get into matchas. You don't have to make your own.
I know, but then when I try it from other places, most of the time I don't like it. So
yeah, it's hard to find a place that makes, like, a good matcha.
Yeah.
You have to find one spot.
That's, like, one where if you find one spot and it's good, that's great. But then, like, most of the time you probably have to make it at home. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's usually better, I feel like, when you make it at home.
Yeah, probably. It's the opposite for me with coffee. It's always terrible at home. I don't know why.
What's your DOTE?
I'm going to make sure it's not expired.
Uh-oh. What is it? Oh, is that a poppy?
Yeah, definitely. It says 03/13/2025. So we're a few days past expired.
How long does it take for those to expire? I feel like
I got
like
this
soda or like takes
I know.
a long
I'm surprised.
Time to expire.
I'm surprised to say it's expired because I don't feel like I've had it long enough for it to be expired.
Yeah, that's
we'll still take a sip because I don't think I'm going to like it that much anyway. I've never even had a poppy. Have I had a poppy before? I know we've done our Olipop rounds. Like, we've done those. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I've ever had poppy. I feel like poppy is more popular for their merch than their drinks. Hot take.
I've had a poppy a few years ago. Like, poppy when I was in school, maybe like 2020, like, they sent me a box of poppy, and I was like, before they, like, had a huge, like, blow up and everyone loved them, I got a box of poppy, and I was like, this tastes good. And then I never drank them again. And now everyone loves them.
I don't know about it. This one's also raspberry rose. And I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like things that are floral flavored. Like lavender, rose. I don't like
any florals either. I thought I would like lavender too, because I tried a lavender matcha once. But I don't like... It tastes like perfumey. Like, I feel like I'm tasting a candle, you know?
Oh, yeah. I feel the same way. That's like lavender tastes like... Just the floral taste, I can't get with it.
Mm-hmm. Was the poppy good?
I'm not getting with it. I mean, it was fine, but I'm scared since it's a few days expired that I'm going to die. So,
okay.
I do have water, though. Don't worry, guys. I have
perfect.
water.
Yeah, we're not risking that.
No.
Well, welcome back to Bookmark'd, everyone. We got a fun episode. A fun springy episode. Why not? Did you have a good week? Did you do anything this week?
What did I do?
Anything eventful happen? No?
No.
Chill
nothing.
week.
Chill week. Just working. Was your weekend, whatever it may be.
My week was good. Very busy because I'm leaving Friday. So I'm trying to get, like, all the work done. I didn't realize, like, how much work is getting done before I leave because I don't want to work too much while I'm away, but I have a few things I'll be filming there. So I like when I film in Florida, though, because it's relaxing there, but I like having a new scenery to film, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
a new spot.
And there's a difference between, like, having to, like, edit and do other things versus, like, you're just filming. Like, filming's not as stress inducing as like I feel like having to sit down and edit something is. It's more time consuming too. Like, you can film as you go.
Yeah, I'll have probably to edit the first day I'm there, and then after that I'll be filming something. So yeah, less time consuming. I'm trying to get the editing done now so I don't have to spend time there editing because that does take the longest. So that's what I've been doing. I went to the city last week with Lauren. We went to like a yoga event, and it was I got like the little, like they send like a little flyer when you get invited to places. They just kind of don't tell you much info. They just say like who's doing it, like who's it with, and like the time you have to be there and like the location. They don't really give you much info. So I got sent the little picture and it said, or they asked if I wanted to go to Humming Puppy Yoga and it was like Friday at like 1 something. It was with Yogalicious, which is like a yoga, like apparel company. So like they were like collabing at like this space, the Humming Puppy Yoga space. So I was like, hell yeah, I want to go to puppy yoga. So Lauren got to come with me. So I met her in the city and we were so excited. But on my way into the train, which is like not a big commute, but like I have to drive to the train and take the train, and like I have to take a few transportations, and she's at work. So she was leaving work to meet me in there, and she called me on the way to the train and she was like, Sara, it's not puppy yoga. She was like, it's just called Humming Puppy Yoga. Like, that's just the name.
That's not your fault.
Of the location.
I also would have jumped so far to that conclusion that it was puppy yoga. I, however, do have a question. Did you not look up this yoga's website, this place's website?
I didn't look up. Okay, so it said Yogalicious is hosting this at Humming Puppy Yoga with the location. So I didn't look up Humming Puppy Yoga, the location. I just looked up Yogalicious to see the workout sets and like the actual company that's kind of hosting it. So my assumption, as I think like 90% of the girls that were there thought there was going to be puppies there, and the way I reacted to getting invited, I was so excited. Like, so many exclamation points were used because puppies are going to be there. Like, 100% I'm there.
Yeah, I get your thinking there.
Yeah, so she told me on the way there, and I was like, there's no way. But it was a great event. It was really fun. We got there, and the actual like location of Humming Puppy Yoga, if anyone's ever in the city and wants to take a yoga class there, highly recommend. It is beautiful. Like, the actual like place that it's at is really, really pretty. And the yoga class was great. Met some people. There's also a girl from my high school that we grew up with, and she does some type of like content now, and she was there, and I was like, no way. Great to see her there. And it was fun. Loved the yoga class. And they had like little charm bracelets they let us make, which was really fun.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, it was really cute. And they had like a little station, and we just like spent a little time in the city after that. But like, honest mistake thinking that there were going to be puppies there.
That's so not your fault, because also if it was saying like Humming, but also like the name, there's probably a reasoning behind the name, but it's like, yeah, why are you naming it something animal yoga? Like humming cat yoga. You would be like
cats will be there. Humming cats. Goat yoga. There's gonna be goats there. Like, I don't know, but they say that sometimes they have puppies there, but it like just our event wasn't puppy yoga, which was totally fine. But yeah.
If sometimes you have puppies, if that's the point of the name, like you can book a class with puppies. If you're doing an event, why not bring the puppies?
Bring the puppies, yeah. I don't know, but when Lauren told me it wasn't puppy yoga, I literally was so shocked. I was like, there's no way.
You were like, oh no. Like, this is like not what I thought. But still a great event, and still had a great time.
Yeah, it was so nice. Yeah, they were really, really nice. And the yoga clothes that they gave us cute little sets, which was really fun. So it was a great time, minus the puppies. Either way, it was great. But I had to tell you because I thought it was funny.
That I honestly would have made the same mistake, and if you would have told me like, hey, there's this event, Humming puppy, whatever. I'd be like, yeah, totally. That sounds like puppy yoga. I would have been right there with you. I would have been very confused too to find out that it wasn't puppy yoga.
Yeah.
You want to know though, that's honest mistake.
Honest mistake. And I think people that like go to that studio often probably know that, but like someone that's never heard of it, I just made an assumption. Don't judge a book by the cover. Don't judge a name literally. Learn my lesson.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's a hard lesson to learn because you used the skills that you like learned in school to like, you know, like infer something from the text that you were given. And in this instance, you were wrong. Goes back to last week when we were talking about English class and being wrong.
And I hate being wrong, and I was blatantly wrong. And I could have just Googled the location, and I didn't do that. The thing is, though, I did look it up on my maps, not like on Google. So, like, maybe if I Googled it, I would have realized. But
it still would have told you that it was puppy yoga. It would have told you, like, hey, sometimes we have puppies.
Yeah. Honest mistake on both of our parts, honestly. We should be more clear on the on the invites.
Yeah, that could have, everybody could have been more clear in the situation.
Yeah.
So nobody's at fault here.
No, but that's what I did. And tomorrow I have, Princess Polly, I think they have a store in California. I'm like not 100% sure, but I think they do. But they're opening one in Soho in New York, like their store. And I'm so excited. They invited us to go shop there tomorrow. Like first shoppers. I've been daydreaming about it. And dreaming at night about it ever since. I'm so excited.
That is a girl's dream. Literally. That's going to be so exciting.
Excited. It's like the perfect store. Like next time we're in the city, we got to go to Princess Polly. I've never been able to shop them in person. It's only been an online store for me.
That is crazy, yeah. Being able to shop in person.
Like, yeah. Well, I think now at my mall in the PacSun, they actually have a Princess Polly section, which is pretty cool, but I never go there. But it's like, you know how they have like a little brandy section sometimes in PacSun? It's like, like that.
Because I know that they have, like on their website now, too. Like, if you go on PacSun's website, it'll show, like, Princess Polly clothes. I don't know. So,
I don't know why they did that, but I'm very excited about it.
It sounds like an exciting week.
I'm heading back. Yeah, but I can't stay the whole time because my flight's Friday, the day after. But I was like, I can't miss it. Can't.
And you can't.
So,
I did wake up today thinking today was Thursday. Fully, like, all day. I was like, oh, it's Thursday. Like, I was like, whatever, you know, I was kind of mad about it. Kind of woke up a little mad that it was Thursday for no reason. Like, just, like, I don't know.
Didn't want to see Thursday coming.
Yeah, today's been, it's been a little weird. Also because I'm eating my breakfast this morning. So, picture this. I'm eating my yogurt. And then I open TikTok, and everybody's talking about how Chloe Walsh announced, oh God, what's the book called? I already forgot. The new Boys of Tommen book that's coming out. And the post, like the last slide says May 2025. Oh. And in my head, I went, oh wow, that's like a whole entire year. Like we have to wait a whole entire year for it. Fully like was like, oh, I can't believe year. Yeah, I can't believe that's going to be a year. Like I was like, wow, I feel like she's been working on this for a little bit. Mm-hmm. No, girl, that's like 2 months. Not even 2 months, actually. Like, it's just, right around the corner.
It was, like, a true post. Like, it's actually coming out
Yes, she posted. Oh, wow. And she was, like, May 2025. But for some reason, like, not just saying, like, I don't know why the May 2025 made me think, like, oh, next year. Like, we're not in 2025. Mm-hmm. That's going to be next year. Yeah, you haven't,
like, grasped it. I think, like, when I was in whatever school, you know how you used to write the dates? And, like, the year would switch and, like, you couldn't remember, or like you're in the new year, you kept writing the last year. That's like you in your mind right now. Like you're in 2024. I've been
in 2024 all year. I have not been in 2025 once this year. I'll tell you that.
And the year's going so fast, so it's like already almost close to May. It's insane.
Crazy that March is almost over. And I was sitting here because I was like, you know, whatever, and I'm planning stuff that I need to do. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's already March 19th. Like March is almost over. And then we're going to be in April, and then all of a sudden you're going to look up and it's going to be May. Then you're going to look up, it's going to be June, and then you're going to look up, it's going to be July, and then it's going to be August, and then it's going to be September.
Exactly how it goes. That's how the year goes, believe it or not.
Breaking news. Destiny breaks down how the year goes on. So
no, but it is going really fast. We're about to be in April, like really quickly. And that's like kind of insane. But I'm happy that it's springtime. Like, just having daylight until like 7 now is making like me so much happier.
It's doing so crazy things for the mental health of having the sun.
Yeah, no, seriously.
And here, it's like the sun is out, but it's sunny and it's hot. Like, it was 88 degrees last week, like for multiple days. Like, actually hot. Yeah, no, it feels like, but it's crazy though, because I'm saying spring, because like me and my mom have been going on walks and it's like 70 degrees in the morning and it's like a wind, and then we walk again at night. So it kind of feels the same way. So it feels like we're in spring. Like, it feels like it. And also, I know, like, going other places, like, it's not going to feel like it feels here. But spring is springing. It's kind of sprung, if you will.
I'm really happy about it, yeah.
And I'm really happy about not having just the, like, what is it about the winter time? I'm sure there's like actually a scientific explanation, but like all winter is just gloomy. Like, there's rarely any sun. Like, I would be okay with it being cold if there was sun, honestly.
I think that's just because that's just what the season is. You don't get much daylight because of the daylight savings, and it's just cold, and the sun is what gives you the warmth. There's not much sun. It's just a gloomy time, which I realize I don't hate the winter anymore. I don't really know what that says about me. I think I've said that before. Like, I don't hate it anymore. I like the holidays. I don't mind staying inside and not feeling guilty for, like, missing the daylight outside. So, like, I don't mind it anymore. Like, I kind of like it. Like, I have an excuse to be an introvert and stay inside. But now that it's spring, it's like, okay, I'm ready to go on a walk. I'm ready for it to be 60 degrees. Let me go outside.
That is the thing about when it is winter outside, or like I always say in the spring and summertime, when I like am relieved when there's a rainy day, because I'm like, okay, I can stay inside and like not feel so bad that like I didn't go outside once today. Yeah. But like when it's the weather's nice, like every day I wake up and I'm like, no, I need to like spend time outside. One, I feel like it's good for you. Like, it's genuinely, it's good for you to spend time outside, but also because I'm like, I have been depressed for however many months because it's been winter and the weather is nice, so why wouldn't you go outside and enjoy it?
Yeah, as soon as the sun is out, it's at least a little bit nice out. I'm either on my deck or I'm out on a chair somewhere. Yeah. You just have to be. So I'm glad that's coming. It's just so bright in my room now, and that makes me feel better. So
yes, same.
Seasons are changing, and I love it. I have a little iPad case. Let me just pull this bad boy out.
I saw you post that yesterday. It's cute.
Thank you. It's from Bestie Ava. Shout out Ava. Shout out Burroughs Garden if you want to get an iPad case. She crochets other things too, but my case, I ordered one from Etsy, but like it takes longer for Etsy to deliver, and I don't think it's going to be here by the time I leave for Florida, so I've been putting it into this. Which I got one, though, for the plane that I can, like, put it up to, like, watch on here, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to do book quotes. So we are going to be reading quotes from our favorite books to either recommend them to you, maybe you'll get a recommendation, or just to maybe prove how much we love them by these quotes. The thing is,
or maybe you've read these books, but maybe you've missed, because there's been times that somebody will post a quote from a book that I've read, and I've been like, I do not remember underlining that.
Yeah, missed that.
Missed that.
I'm going to start with Happy Place, because Happy Place has some amazing quotes. I have, like, quite a few from this one, actually. This is literally page 3 of the book.
Okay.
It says, "My best friends taught me a new kind of quiet, the peaceful stillness of knowing one another so well you don't need to fill the space, and a new kind of loud, noise as a celebration, as the overflow of joy at being alive here now. I couldn't have imagined being any happier, loving anywhere else as much. Not until Sabrina brought us here, to her family's summer home on the coast of Maine. Not until I met Win."
I was reliving that quote 'cause I just reread that book. However many, like a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh my gosh,
so good. Like, when I was going through these books to take pictures of the quotes that I have, it's like I was reliving the books a little bit, and I was like, I really love these books. This one says, "I hate how entangled we still feel on a quantum level, like my body will never stop trying to find its way back to his." And
that's kind of low-key sounds like a Magnolia Parks quote,
right? This one and this next one reminded me of Magnolia Parks a little bit. It says, now I know how he'd taste, how he'd touch me, how quickly he'd become the foremost need in my personal Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yep.
I remember that. Shout out AP Psychology.
I remember that too. He says, is there one that looks like us? And she thinks, they all do. You're in all of my happiest places. You're
That
where
quote?
my mind goes when it needs to be soothed. It's so good.
Oh my god, they're talking about the pots. The pottery that she makes. That is so... Oh, I love that one. They're on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah. I think I have one more. Yeah, I have one more, and this is the best one. It says, no. In every universe, it's you for me, even if it's not me for you.
That, literally, I love
So
that one
good.
so much.
So
Let
if
me
you
see.
read Happy Place and you didn't like it the first time, this is your sign to try it again this year. And if you did love Happy Place, this is your sign to reread it, because I want to so bad. So good.
It is amazing. I loved Happy Place before, but like rereading some of your favorite books when you know they're your favorite books hits different sometimes.
Sometimes the second time is even better than the first, too. Like when I read Happy Place the second time, I was like, yeah, this is one of my favorite books. Secured
The spot. Sometimes you have to reread a book to like solidify that it's like over other books. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. I also have an Emily Henry book. Mine is Book Lovers. I actually have the physical copies of some of my favorite books because I just did a video talking about my favorite books.
Yeah.
You're
You're prepared.
So I dog ear my books. So I'm going to flip through some dog ears. It's like this moment between Charlie and Nora, and they're out to dinner. I literally need to find it. Oh, here it is. Oh my god. Me giggling already. Do you want to know? Look, you can tell I flipped to this page because see how it's flat when I flip to the quote. They go to dinner, and it's like my quotes sometimes are out of context moments, but it's like because the feeling...
with the context it hits.
Yeah, but it's because of the way Emily Henry is able to, like, write a feeling. Like, she says, so they're at dinner, and she says, I lean across the table, grabbing the bottle and tipping it over his glass until it's full to the brim. As deadpan as ever, he hunches and slurps from the glass without lifting it. I burst into laughter against my will, and he's so visibly pleased. It gives me a full-body twinge of pride. He wants to make me laugh. And then a little bit farther down, it says... His laugh is low and hoarse. It makes me think of the satisfying snap sound of a tennis racket delivering a perfect return. Because it's like, he makes her laugh, and she sees his, like, pleasure with that, and then she goes back, makes him laugh, and she's talking about, like, a game of tennis, like, back and forth. Like, that's what it feels like. Literally, they have so many moments. Y'all know, I love Charlie and Nora. They're, like, I would say underrated. I feel like I don't see people talk about Book Lovers as much as, like... Beach Read, Happy Place. Now I feel like Funny Story took the top 3 for like the most talked about Emily Henry books, but I feel like Book Lovers deserves a spot too.
It does. It deserves a spot. I liked that
It does.
one. The banter is probably the best out of any of them in that one.
Oh, their banter is so good. Like, or you know what I love about Book Lovers too? It's such a book. Wow. Hey, breaking news.
For
Book Lovers is for book lovers. Genuinely. Like, because both of them love books. And, like, this quote that says, Nora, he just barely smiles. You're in books. Of course you don't have a life. None of us do. There's always something too good to read. Real? Real? Like, that's why I spend most of the time in my house. Because I'm like, yeah, why go somewhere when I don't know if I'm going to enjoy my time when I know I'm going to enjoy my time doing this? Why? Oh, you know that reminds me of, what's that Gracie Abrams song? Where it says, why would I waste my 20s?
On random men.
Yeah, not one of them.
Waste my 20s on random men, not one of them is cooler than all my friends.
That's what it reminds me of. That's what this is giving. I don't know. I need to find the later quotes. You know, like the later quotes, because that's when things start to get good in the book. Like when the quotes later. Oh my gosh, this one. I feel an uncanny ache. This is what looking at Charlie is like sometimes. Like a gut punch of a sentence. Like a line so sharp you have to set the book aside to catch your breath. Well, I had to set the book aside to catch my breath. Read Book Lovers. There's so many good bantery quotes in this one too, but I want to save that for you guys. If you guys haven't read that banter for the first time, it's genuinely some of the best banter I've read, period, but definitely some of Emily Henry's best work.
Well, I do have another Emily Henry one.
Funny Story?
Yeah, I got funny stories. They're really just things I think Miles says. The first one was like one of my favorites, and it says, I didn't underline it, and now it's just a picture of a page, so I actually don't know where it is. Oh. She says, I just think you like people almost as much as they like you, and it makes being around you feel like standing in sunlight. And then it says, his mouth softens briefly. He studies the space between our feet and says, you feel like sunlight too. She says, can I do anything? And it says, now his smile softens. He touches my chin again. Nah, he says, this is enough. I'm not doing anything, I point out. The corner of his mouth twitches. Then why do I feel better? I love him.
That's Riz.
He is like definition of Riz. Or she says, that's not what I meant at all. And then he said, you said no one wants you around. What about me? And she says, what about you? And he says, me wanting you doesn't count. And she says, a fiery heat wave, a series of them, one after another. Me wanting you, me wanting you. Like, she's just like thinking about him saying me wanting you. Oh my god. He's really good. Love Miles.
I feel like I can't remember a lot of quotes from Funny Story. I might have to give it a reread.
You should give it a reread. It's so good. I feel like it's perfect for springtime too.
I know, I might have a video idea that maybe I could reread it. My next one is Just Last Night by Mari McFarlane.
I still need to read that.
Yes,
this is
you
my
do.
sign.
Why I like this book so much is because I think I really like the writing, the way that, again, it gives Emily Henry, where I say, like, there are certain things that when an author is able to encapsulate a feeling that you've had, but, like, put it into words that you never would have been able to, like, explain it. I feel like Mari McFarlane does that very well, and her work is kind of more, like, here's the thing, they sell it to you as a romance, right? It's not. It's more literary, like, it's not as romantic as you're thinking. I'm trying to remember. Oh, this one is one that I always talk about when I talk about this book. So it's like her, like when she's younger, her and one of her friends like separating for the summer, like after they met in the school year. And it says, our parting hurt so acutely, I realized not because we thought the geography was insurmountable or that the Christmas break was so far away, but because we didn't know the people we were about to change into. What if everyone returned being all had such a great time and behaving subtly differently, and to make it clear priorities and intimacies had shifted, acting like things were the same, but there was a new distance around each of us, like castles with moats, name-dropping strangers with whom we'd forged mysterious, exciting, impenetrable new alliances. Nothing held the same power and mystique that the unknown did.
Yeah, I love that.
That feeling of like words. It's such a good interpretation of like the fear. I feel like the fear of everybody growing up, like when you like we're gonna go away from your friends for like a summer and be like, oh my god, but what if they don't stay? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I
no, it's real. It's like you spend so much time with like a best friend, and then you spend time away from them, and it's like you come back with different experiences that the other one didn't experience. So then it's like you have different lives now. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's also this quote, and I feel like this quote is really good for like an emotional moment. Like, you know, sometimes when your body, like people say the outer body experience of like disassociating when something huge happens. Like this feeling, she says, I put my hand on the wall to steady myself and wonder why I've never noticed so much about walls before. The heat from the morning sun still in the brick, the rough, porous texture of it against my palm, the way the grainy mortar squeezes out like buttercream and cake. Like something big just happened to her and she puts her hand on the wall and then disassociating, and instead of thinking about the thing that happened to her, she's thinking about how the wall feels underneath her fingertips, because like she's just trying to disassociate from what happened.
Yeah, I need to read one of her books. Bad.
This one's a good one to start with. I feel like a lot of people like that one.
Okay, I have The X-Files, which is one of my favorite books ever. I don't think I have any pictures of how much I relate to Georgia. Just know that I do. But here's some quotes that I like from this one. It's a privilege to have someone trust you enough to show you those pieces of themselves, the most vulnerable and tender, the least polished. It's a show of trust to let you see them first thing in the morning, in the middle of a panic attack, right after they've cried, to give you a shaky smile after a messy fight, to come back to you again and again with their heart in their hands. Well, before that it said, because when he's messiest, that's when I see myself reflected in him. And then she said, it's a privilege to have someone to trust you like that.
But it really is. It really is.
It really is. She's right.
Breaking news, it really is.
These other quotes are, like, they're shorter, but they're so good. It says, Eli can't see my heart, and it's for the better, because he'd see his name is everywhere in it.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of the Frank Ocean lyric. If I could see through walls, I would see your faking. If you could see my thoughts, you would see our faces. That's one of my favorite lyrics of all time, and that reminds me of it.
What song is it? I should add it to the playlist for this book.
It's Frank Ocean's, hold on. Hold on, I'll have to look it up. Why am I blanking on that? I've listened to that song so many times in my life.
The next one says, but there's a helium-like feeling that constantly presses at my ribs when he's around and when he's not. She's really good at describing the way that Georgia feels around him. This one says, oh, this one was so good. The tension was so high between them. Or she says, it doesn't say she or he, but this is the conversation. So tell me what you want. I did. Say it again. You. It was so good. And then he says, I remember the most dangerous fate. Fuck. I remember, he says, eyes on me, the most dangerous phrase when it comes to us. They got so much history. This book is so good.
That quote also gives Magnolia Parks a little bit.
Yeah, maybe all the books that I like after Magnolia Parks give me flashbacks. Not flashbacks, but like they remind me of the writing in that, because I always say I can never find writing like, which I'm gonna get into obviously, but like Jessa Hastings in Magnolia Park specifically. So maybe I'm just looking for it everywhere. So
my next one is Normal People by Sally Rooney. Love this book. Obviously I feel like the famous quote, it's just that I happened to open to this one first. And it says, he was really laughing then. Marianne, he said, I'm not a religious person, but I do sometimes think God made you for me.
It's like one of the most popular quotes, but like one of the best.
No, but it's popular for a reason, because everybody, when they read that, was like,
mm-hmm.
Like, I cannot, but like somebody actually saying that. Some of the quotes are hard to read though, because like they both suck at communicating. So like they'll say something like to start a little bit of like kindness to the other, and then the other will kind of like call them out on it, and they like go back on what they said. Like they're kind of annoying in that way, but it's so real, because like same. But the way Sally Rooney is able to like even express emotions, like there is something that he kind of gets mad or upset about in one of the moments, and it says Connell stares at her from across the table, simply allowing his face to express the alarm he feels at this remark. Like instead of saying something, like he allows his face to show the emotion. Like when authors are able to write that in an interesting way, like instead of just saying like he shows that he's angry, like his face like shows that he's angry, like writing it like that is literally so good. This one I did in dog ear, so it's a little bit harder to find the quotes. Or this one. I don't know. I thought this was sweet. You guys have to understand, Normal People is sweet in a different way. It's different. Like, it's not like your romance books. This one says, I don't know, do I still have pupils? She looks in his eyes where his pupils are swollen to round black bullets. Yes, she says, they're huge. He strokes her hand again and says more quietly, oh, well, they get like that when I see you anyway.
That's a good one.
Knowing that's a lot for Connell to say. You guys need to understand. Anyway.
That took a lot out of him to say. I have the iconic one from Just for the Summer that I not only tabbed but also underlined. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because it gives like a little spoilery of like the couple, because it's at the very end, but it says, the love story sold us the wrong thing. The best kind of love doesn't happen on moonlit walks and romantic vacations. It happens in between the folds of everyday life. I'm going to skip a little. At the end it says, it isn't glamorous, it isn't all butterflies and stars in your eyes, it's real. This is the kind of love that forever is made of, because if it's this good when life is draining and mundane and hard, think of how wonderful it will be when the love songs are playing and the moon is out. And it's like a whole paragraph going off about that. And that's it's so good. And also the definition of the whole book. If you haven't read this one, you gotta read this one.
You gotta read it.
That's my favorite. There's also another one that says, home wasn't a place, it was a person, which is also really cute.
I also think one of my favorite books of all time is Annabelle Monaghan's Summer Romance. I love this book so much. I love Ethan so much. Like, he is like the MMC in this book. Like, for example, in this quote, he says, he's looking right into my eyes, like he can hear my thoughts, and I have to break eye contact. I turn my steering wheel and say, what? Ethan keeps looking at me. I know you're in there, Allie Morris. You are the most confident girl in the room. Because she's going through, like, a rough patch, and he's, like, reinstilling this confidence in her. Okay. Like...
I did like him, too. He was a good character.
I love him. He was so sweet. There's a quote about a dog in here that I won't read because I've, like, cried over that so many times on my YouTube channel. Like... This, it's like, we get it.
I always say that her writing reminds me of, like, a mix of Abby Jimenez and Emily Henry. Like, she has, like, really good quotes, like Emily Henry would write, but she has, like, the type of story that Abby Jimenez would write, and it's a great mix.
I always say that she does remind me of Emily Henry a little bit because of, like, how her books are also marketed as romance, but I feel like romance is not the main plot of the story. Ever. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like the characters always have something else going on, and the romance is kind of like this thing that, like, walks by you throughout the whole entire book that, like, aids some of the things, but she still has her own things going on.
Yeah, I love her books. Her new one's coming out soon too. Is that one in April, or is that one May?
I don't know. It might be May. It might be.
Well, if you want me to get into
Here we go.
Listen, I'll do it. I have quotes from... Okay, I have a lot. So just tell me when you want to do one of yours. I could take a break. Because these are the best quotes to ever come out of a book ever. Okay, I'll start with the... I guess I could start with the first one, obviously. I actually have a album named Quotes that has all the quotes in there. So, as one does. Let me get to that album. The first one I ever took of this book, the first picture of, like, any quote, when I was like, wait, this might change my life, says, this is the first Magnolia Parks. You know how there are key... I always mess up reading. Like, I don't do this
you're
every
okay.
day.
You're okay.
Sorry I get stage fright. You know how there are key few moments in your life that stands out, like your first kiss and the first time you realize your parents are just people too, and hearing Coldplay's The Scientist for the first time, and falling over and really fucking up your knee, like your first hospital visit, all that shit. Meeting Parks is one of them for me. That'll do it. This one's a good one from Magnolia's point of view. It says, too much of my life, maybe even too much of who I am entirely, can be traced back to him or us. Everything wonderful, everything magical, everything painful, everything beautiful and spectacular and wretched and defining that has happened to me happened with him. And I hate him for that.
Real.
So, he said, Parks, there's not much about me that isn't about you. Stop. This one actually, like, I love what she wrote here because I'll just read it. Okay. They're fighting, obviously. And she was like, why can't you leave me alone, whatever? He goes, you want that? Yes, I yell, and it feels like a thunderclap. Echoes through the ancient mountains around us, and the Greek philosophers who wax lyrical about true love and soulmates roll in their graves as I try for the billionth time to sever myself from mine. Sorry? How the hell did she come up with that one?
How does
they wax
even think of that?
lyricals? The philosophers who write about true love and soulmates roll in their graves because these two just can't get it together. Oh my dear God.
Just thinking about that. How does the brain even think of writing that?
It's a good one. I'll go into the second one. Not that Daisy hates. I'm not going to read anything from there. I actually don't have anything from there right now. But The Long Way Home. She said, or I can never tell who's talking.
Could be either of them, honestly.
It could, but I think she says, are all your favorite nights with me? And then he says, yeah, why, what's yours? And she thinks in her head, with him, of course with him. All of my best nights, all my worst ones are all with him. And I wonder if this is the point. This is what I'm swimming towards. Not just in love with him, but a whole wonderful, terrifying, beautiful, painful life with him.
Does you read it all?
She says, I'm just like reading the book. This is, I think, Magnolia's point of view, but she's thinking, something's wrong with me. I know there is, and I can barely get the sentence written down onto the page of my mind before the answer presents itself. I love him too much. That's the problem. That's the only problem I've ever really had. The only reason I'm sad how I am, the only reason I've been hurt how I've been, it's all because I love him too much. And I wonder how I've moved through life stuck on loving the same boy since I was 14, which is far too young to be in love, but I dare you to find anyone who loves anything more than I love him. I'm gonna cry. Oh, she says, do you think I'm crazy? And BJ says, no. And she says, even though you know the worst parts of me. And BJ says, I don't know the worst parts of you. I just know you, Parks. Okay. This is the best quote that's ever come out of this book, by the way. It says, I catch her eye to soften the blow. Try to make it sound like having too much history with Magnolia Parks isn't the mounted deer I'll hang in the hallway of who I am. Like loving her isn't the first thing you see when you walk through the door of me. I could quote this one without reading it, I think.
That's such a good imagery in your head.
Right? Like, in the first book, there's a quote in Magnolia's point of view that says, cut me and I'd bleed him. And that is, like, a very popular one. And it's literally saying how if you cut her open, like, what she is made up and what's keeping her alive and breathing is BJ. And in this one, it's like, if you walk into BJ, the first thing inside of him is Magnolia. It's the first thing you'll see. It's not anything about him. It is Magnolia. Sorry. It's too good. Yeah, I have one from The Great Undoing, but it's like the popular one that everyone loves because it's just so good, and it's in Julian's point of view. It's the one where he's comparing her to art, and it says, she is the goddess in the clamshell, her eyes are the water lilies in Monet's pond, she's the hand of God reaching down to mankind, Klimt's kiss is a portrait of us, and I'm gonna steal it, take it, make it mine, and make her mine too. That one's so good. This one's also really good. Okay, last one, and I'll stop. It's the great undoing of my heart as I know it. She made herself at home, kicked off those cerulean heels, put her feet up on my left rib. Over the mantelpiece she hung her own portrait up of herself, that little minx. Best painting I've ever seen, too. Better than any woman anyone has ever painted in the history of time. A face I'd win battles for. A face I'd lose anything for, even her.
I actually can't do this today. I actually can't do this today. Because here's the thing, you know when you read the previous book, the previous Magnolia Parks book, so it's coming, and that was what was so, I could go on about this man, that was what was so devastating, that's what killed me. When I read these quotes, I was like, I was devastated.
It's just like an inevitable ending that you know is coming, and it just hurts because of who it's happening to. It's like, you wish it could end differently, but it just quite literally can't. So that's what I have from that series. If any of those quotes speak to you, please read it. And after you read the first one, even if you don't like the first one, please continue. Just trust the process.
Yeah, I would say take my advice, because I read the first one and I didn't really like it. And then I waited a year before I picked it back up and reread it. And then I went on to Daisy Hates, and I went on, the reading order. And then I really, really, really liked it, after I gave it a chance. But I will also say that, now that it's popular, that series is, they're toxic. They are. They're not, a healthy relationship. Mm-hmm. But I read it before it even had any hype. It was, not, people were just starting to talk about it. I'd seen, 2 people talk about it. And then I read it, and I was like, I'm confused. This is but once you know, and you kind of get, what we're getting at, it's different. Because I went into it thinking it was going to be like this. There's going to be, just a regular romance.
Rom-com.
So,
I like
it's
that
not.
It's different because it makes it feel a little bit more real, even though they're all kind of outlandish and not really realistic in, the terms of them being, high society and everything and the way they act. But they feel like real people. And BJ does something that's not good, very looked down upon, but throughout the series you could see how he eventually changes and wants to change, which was so nice to see. So please read it.
There's a lot of character development for sure in that series.
Yeah.
I have another Annabelle Monaghan book. I love Nora Goes Off Script. I love this book so much. There's a lot of giddy moments in here for me. This one, they're on a walk, and there's a jealousy moment, and She says, why are you asking? He says, I'm just gathering information. Leo is vulnerable in this moment. His face is expectant. His shoulders are braced as if he's expecting a blow. I care a lot, I say, and he kisses me right there on the sidewalk at 2 o'clock in the middle of town. As we walk to the car, he's laughing. I knew it. You're so into me. Stop. Like, just picturing that moment in your head. They were so cute. Like, there are so many quotes in this book that I'm like, it's like giddy though, because I could imagine it like a rom-com movie, like in my head. One, the whole entire setting, she's like a screenwriter for romantic movies, but I could imagine it so clearly in my head, like how that would have played out. If that was a movie scene, I'm getting an edit of that on my TikTok. I'm getting an edit of it.
Nora Goes Off Script and Summer Romance I like because you're following a mom who's getting like a second chance. And, like, seeing them, like, put their romance as a priority a little bit again. It's really sweet. Like, the way she writes it is really, really good.
Yeah, I love her books. I'm very excited for her next one. The Love Proclamation, one of the, like, love proclamations in this book, I love so much, and I wish I could read it to you guys, but I'm not going to, like, spoil the love proclamation. But it's one of my favorites because of how simplistic it is, but it's because of, like, she lives in this small town. And the way they live their life, like, he's this famous actor, and he comes to the small town, but it's, like, such an actual, like, I say, like, realistic small town vibe. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like how sometimes, like, these stories sell you, like, a small town. Like, it just felt realistic. I don't know.
I have one from Firefly Lane, because I love that book. And just the friendship. But it says, Soon Tully had Kate laughing. That was the thing about best friends. Like sisters and mothers, they could piss you off and make you cry and break your heart. But in the end, when the chips were down, they were there, making you laugh even in your darkest hours. And that's just like the definition of the whole entire book. That's what I have. But
well, that's girlhood.
So good. It is so girlhood. I love girlhood.
I have a few quotes from Daisy Jones and the Six. I told you guys that a few weeks ago, I remember, like, I walked in the room and I just, like, was reading quotes to my mom. Like, she does not care. This quote, like, just thinking about this, it says, some people just don't threaten each other, and other people threaten everything about each other just the way it is. Like, y'all, if we go later into the book, this book was funny, too. Flipping through some of these quotes, this book is funny. I don't, oh my god, I just dropped it. Me being dramatic. Okay. I'm trying to find ones that are, like, out of context. Oh my gosh, wait.
A good book.
I just saw something that breaks my heart every single time. Oh my god, okay. Let me find, y'all, whole entire page is highlighted at this point. Yeah. But let me find, okay. It says, passion is its fire, and fire is great, but we're made of water. Water is how we keep living. Water is what we need to survive. My family was my water. I picked water. I'll pick water every time. If you know what this quote is.
I actually have a few from Divine Rivals. I remember reading that, and it was before it, like, blew up.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember I read it, and the quotes were just so good, and I was like, why is not more people talking about this book? It says, Roman stood in the sunshine and read every word of her article. He forgot where he was standing, where he was going, where he had just come from. He forgot everything when he read her words, and a smile crept over his face when he reached the end. Damn, he was proud of her. Oh my god, Roman was just so
down bad, actually.
He was just sweet and, yeah, very down bad. He says, or actually, I don't know if she knows this is him at this point, because in the book, they write magical letters to each other, but he knows it's her. She doesn't know it's him. So it says, Dear Iris, I don't think you realize how strong you are, because sometimes strength isn't swords and steel and fire, as we are so often made to believe. Sometimes it's found in quiet, gentle places. The way you hold someone's hand as they grieve, the way you listen to others, the way you show up day after day, even when you are weary or afraid or simply uncertain. That is strength, and I see it in you. Oh my god, he's just, like,
so romantic.
Kind. Your letters have been a light for me to follow. Your words, a sublime feast that fed me on days when I was starving. And I want you to see me. I want you to know me. Through the smoke and the firelight and kilometers that once dwelled between us. Do you see me? And then one of my favorite ones, it says, You mentioned the other day that you think I'm only here to outshine you, but that's the furthest thing from the truth. I broke my engagement, quit my job, and traveled 600 kilometers into war-torn land to be with you, Iris. Get you a man. Get you a man.
If he wanted to, he would, for real.
For real, and Roman Kit is the definition of... Yeah, that's all I have from that one. But, like, just him in that book was just so good.
Honestly, the first book was so good, and I was so disappointed by the second book. Like, I feel like we lost that in the second book.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was more focused on, like, the war that they were in and kind of the Gods' War or whatever, but I don't know. It wasn't as interesting as I hoped it would be.
No. I have randomly throwback One True Loves. When I read this, like, 3, maybe more years ago, this genuinely changed my life because there's, like, 3 quotes towards the end of the book. And it literally, this quote, I feel like this is one of the most famous quotes from the book. And this is one that I always say all the time. But this book is a very, very emotional story. And it says, falling out of love with someone you still like feels exactly like lying in a warm bed and hearing the alarm clock. No matter how good you feel right now, you know it's time to go. That is literally...
I read that book, I think in like... Let me check Goodreads. That was like before I really started making book videos, so it's been a really long time. I read it in 2021. And like, I didn't love it, but I think if I read it now, I would be obsessed with it.
No, it was so good. Like, this quote says, I don't think that true love means your only love. I think true love means loving truly, loving purely, and loving wholly. And then this quote that says, I am who I am because I loved you once. He says, I am who I am because I loved you once too, I say. And then we say goodbye. Literally.
Yeah, it's a really, like, heart-wrenching book, that one. It's, like, decisions that she has to make. I don't think Taylor Jenkins Reid was for me when I first started reading, but I think now, if I read the books I read by her and didn't love, I probably would like them.
I really like her backlist. I love is it called like the Hollywood series or something? I forget what her little universe series is called, but her backlist, they were always like very interesting plots. Like this one, she is married to her high school sweetheart, and then randomly one day, like, he gets into a helicopter crash, and like it's like years later she's engaged to somebody else, and then he like shows back up, and you're kind of reading about that. And then another one is like she like it's maybe in another life. It's like 2 different timelines, like what her life would have been like in one timeline versus the other. And then Forever Interrupted is like her husband, she like gets married, and then like a few days later her husband dies, and it's kind of like following her grief and his mother's grief. Like, she had never met his mom, and like she meets his mom, and like the way that their stories intertwine. Like, she always has like really good in her backlist. Like, her books are very interesting plots that she writes.
I have one more. This one's just for fun, so I could talk about him, and it's from Play Along. I have a couple.
I knew it.
I just love them. They're not like the most amazing quotes ever, but like
giggles.
He's so good.
Giggles.
Yeah, they make me giddy. Okay, so this is like before anything ever, and one of his like teammates says, "So who is she?" On this day where everything feels like a sign, I don't hesitate when I say my future wife, and the boys burst out laughter. I'm like, well, did you accidentally get married? This was like my favorite part of the whole book. I think she's like, or maybe one of her parents says like, why are you pouting, or like says something to her, and in his head he goes, pout? She's sitting here entirely emotionless and says, excuse me? I stand from my seat. Watch your fucking words when you're speaking to my wife. Oh my god, I actually dropped down dead when I read that part.
So Sarah's coming at us as a ghost.
Yeah, no, literally, ever since I read this. And then one part in his point of view says she laughs again, and then I realize I don't hear that sound often. I'll have to work on that. And boy, does he work on it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is literally his new job. So good. I can't wait for the new one. The new one comes out, I think, in May as well. I think it's May. Oh my god, I'm so excited about. I'm so sad it's the last one in the series. Like,
Me
I need
too.
more.
I really enjoy that series. It's crazy how we both really dislike Mile High, and how like now like we love that series so much. Like it just went up from there. Like every book for me, like it just went
literally.
up every single book.
It's one of my favorite interconnected series. Like it might be. I don't know if I would put it like same level as Chestnut Springs, even though they're so different. But like they both have like the interconnectedness that I love so much. But yeah, the first one is like, it's not even part of the series for me. I don't really think about it. But it's weird because I like Xander and Stevie as side characters, like in the later books. Like I like them as a couple, but like seeing them get there, I did not like them. Well, I hope you guys got a recommendation, and let us know if you haven't read any of these. Maybe you'll read them. My recommendation is Magnolia Parks, of course. Out of all of them. I think that's what you have to read. It will change your life.
Give it a chance, everybody. Give it a chance.
I think for my birthday, I'm going to reread some of my favorite books, just like as a present.
Okay, happy birthday to you. Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah. Like,
the gift that keeps on giving.
That's what I want to do this year. I have to pick the right ones, but like, it has to happen.
Let it happen. Whatever that song is. Okay. Well, we hope you guys found some recommendations, and we hope you guys enjoyed
let us know your favorite
episode.
Quotes.
Yeah. Write down some of your favorite
recommendation from quotes.
Yeah. How about you do that?
If there's a book that we haven't read that you love, recommended by one of the quotes. And
yes.
Maybe we'll add that to our TBR.
Yeah. So. I feel like that gets me every time, so.
Yeah, me too. If I see a good quote, I'm like, okay. I should read that.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And have a wonderful day.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.